Welcome to ECNTRADE Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. With eyes on the US Federal Reserve interest rate announcement on Wednesday in the US or Thursday Sydney time at 6 a.m, markets will no doubt right across the board see some volatile price action. Looking at the Australian dollar, well, after the last 2 week days that we've seen here, the market traded the level of 70.90 and respected it. And as you can see, didn't get the confirmation, even though the RSI has broken to a somewhat bearish signal. Nevertheless, we need to see from a New York close under 70.90 to reinstate the downside and give us an objective back to around 69 cents. Still be on your guard because the MACD hasn't fully broken down, and therefore we still could see a bit of whipsaw price action, that is, anywhere from 70.90 and up towards that region of 71.70.90 after many attempts here, at least 4, rejected and finally broke down. The US dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major currencies, still relatively firm since it recaptured the 96 handle and is pushing on towards a high around 96.50. This has seen the euro still weigh heavily on the support and still potentially can fall towards the region if we look at the broader pattern, which is around 111.1030 area. Although we are oversold from a monthly and getting close to on the weekly and a little bit of indecisive candles here, the market will be keeping a very close watch on what the Federal Reserve statement when Jerome Powell speaks at 6:30 Sydney time, AM that is. We could see some whipsaw price action because it's, from a technical point, is that we can see a further breakdown, and from a fundamental point is that we're seeing a somewhat hawkish expected statement, which could see a stronger US dollar. And if you look at the euro, it is weighted at 57.6 to the US dollar. Dollar yen is edging slightly to the bull case as it edges towards that 114 resistance. From that region, as previously mentioned, I do feel we get a rejection from there. But technically, we're still holding to a somewhat bullish signal from the RSI and an ADX that is trending. So therefore, could still see another 30-point push towards the top side and reassess from that 114 handle. Sterling, well, the market kicked off to a bullish divergence and also rebounding off the level of 131.50, seen as a technical level, and now waiting for the next step. The Bank of England is scheduled to announce its interest rate on Thursday, and all eyes will be towards whether or not we see either a rate hike or where they will maybe hold off but still keep the statement to a somewhat hawkish sentiment. But from a technical point, I do like the way this pattern is forming up, and therefore we're getting a bit of a rounded bottom there since the rejection of 130.150, and the RSI is just breaking over that midway point and marrying up to a positive MACD. And therefore I believe that we could see a push up towards 133 or even up to 134 if we get some kind of break to this RSI. KGN still remains weak after its 5-day decline, and also that rejection, and the long-legged doji is still keeping a focus on 87.20 and reassess from there. It's been very choppy gold over the last many days, as you can see here, holding above the level of 1,757 but contained by the level of 1,815. We saw a bullish, bearish, and then bullish, and now overnight bearish price action, and the RSI is buckled once again along with the MACD. I am still holding the view the market is negative to a point that can see a challenge of 57 or 1,757, and a break under there would give further scope to the downside and look towards the region of 1,722 or around that 22 to 26 where I've outlined here. The reason behind that is that we've seen many attempts towards that top side and failed, and the technicals seem to continue to break. We've got an ADX that's trending again to a bear case, and an RSI marrying up with the MACD does support my view, at least towards the challenge of 1,757, and a New York close under there would confirm the next target, as I mentioned, around 1,722 to 26. Finishing up with the oil outlook, well, we've got to close under 69.80. Along with that, confirming the outside range day. An RSI breaking down through the midway point, and a weak MACD as well to keep the focus, I believe, first of all, to the lows around $64 a barrel and reassess from there. So all eyes on the Fed at 6 a.m. Sydney time, and also Jerome Powell's statement to questions and answers around 6:30. That wraps it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and as always, look out for the intraday report. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.